Morning, everyone. Happy first day of February. We have some wonderful events happening this month, including Poetry Week next week and activities to celebrate Black History Month and a chance to get Miss Rosie to make a family recipe during Language and Culture Week. Miss Scott will tell you more about that later. Next week, we have parent conferences on Thursday and Friday. You'll attend your regular specials live in the morning, and then there will be a fun assortment of asynchronous and synchronous options for the afternoon. That just means live and some are recorded. Since the Halloween cake decorating contest was such a big hit, the Parents Association is going to host a cake decorating contest during the afternoon on conference days. The Parents Association will send out more information this week. Now for Henry to lead us through Strive and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hello, everyone, and happy February. It's time for Strive. Seek always to do your best, treat people and property with respect, revere the truth, invest in your future, value school rules, your heritage, and personal responsibilities, and enrich the world for all. This week's the E in Strive. That stands for Enrich the World for All. This week we're talking about the environment. Reduce, reuse, recycle. What is that? Here's an example. If you want to reduce, you can use reusable bags so you don't have to use a new one every single time you go to the store. But if you forget your reusable bag, you can ask for a paper bag and you can reuse it multiple times so you don't have to get new ones. But lastly, if you want to recycle your bag, don't just throw it away. You can actually recycle it by shredding it up and putting it in the compost. Now, let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, and have a good week.
Thank you, Henry. Now we're off to the birthday cheer with Miss Tran.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Tran and I hope you're having a great start to your day. Before we start with some birthday trivia, I'd like to begin celebrating Black History Month by naming a very significant individual in our history. This week we honor Rosa Parks, who was born on February 4th, 1913. Little did she know that her act of resistance and standing up for what was right on December 1st, 1955 would put her name in the history books. That was the day Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white passenger. Because of her brave actions, she changed the course of history and became the mother of the civil rights movement. Youth education was also very important to Rosa Parks. She taught young African Americans how to read so they could pass the literacy test and vote in elections. Thank you, Rosa Parks, for your bravery, courage, and strength. Now, I thought it would be fun for you to learn some fun factoids about our faculty who were born in the month of February. So we're going to play a game called Two Truths, One Lie. You've probably played this before. If you haven't, I'll explain. I gathered some information from all of our faculty who are celebrating birthdays in the month of February. They told me three things, two of which are true, one of which is not true. So let's see if we can find out what they are. First, we're going to celebrate Miss Horton's birthday. Her birthday will be on February 9th. She is 4B's associate teacher. Which of these statements is not true? Her favorite kind of fish is a shark. She has an identical twin. She was born in Wisconsin. Think about it. The first one is not true. Phew. Her favorite kind of fish is not a shark. Maybe you need to go and find out what her favorite kind of fish or animal is. Okay? Not that there's anything wrong with really liking sharks, by the way. Okay. Next, we have Miss Krutz. Her birthday is February 10th. She is 4CA's partner associate teacher. Which statement is not true? She has horses. She is not a San Diego native. She is a college student. The second one is not true. She is a San Diego native, born and raised in San Diego. Thanks again, everyone. Hope you had fun. I look forward to sharing more truths and untruths about our faculty who have birthdays in the month of February. Have a wonderful week. See you later. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating birthday this week. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Tran. So the student birthdays this week. So if you want to stand up while your name is, if it's your birthday week, we will celebrate you. We have Vesper Kronberg, Nina Manning, Charles Gerard, Ayla Malcolm, Chloe Palmer, Sammy Taylor, Carter Passy Shinwis, Alexa Villaplana, Stella Morgan Reed, Vivian Volin, and Sadie Goth. All of you, big cheer to you. Oh, and Philip Vano, sorry, you were on the next page. So cheers to all of you. Happy birthday. We now have the sentence of the week in Spanish and Mandarin.
The phrase of the week is in honor of Black History Month, beginning today. Repita en español. Celebramos el mes de la historia afroamericana en febrero. Gracias.
Woohoo.
你好，我是潘卡琳. The phrase of the week is in honor of Black History Month beginning today. 我们一起纪念2月是美国的黑人历史月. When I say 谢谢, please say 不客气. 谢谢.
Thank you, everyone. So I hope you're enjoying the Dress Down Day that was postponed from Friday. When you were home, I wonder if you all got hail like we did. It kind of hailed throughout the county last week. So we pushed off that to today, and I see lots of kids celebrating the Dress Down Day today. We have a Dress Down Day on Friday as well for our Spirit Week. It's a Parker Spirit Day, so you can wear our colors of brown and gold or anything Parker. If you have Parker gear, you can wear that as well on Friday. Now, Miss Scott is going to tell you a little bit about some of those activities I was describing when we opened.
Thank you, Miss Gray. So the first activity I'm going to tell you about is the Family Recipe Project. So in celebration of the upcoming Language and Culture Week, the lower school is inviting students, faculty, and staff to share meaningful family recipes that celebrate our community's rich diversity of cultures and traditions. These recipes will be compiled into a digital recipe book like the one you see on your screen for all lower school families. As a part of this project, we'll be selecting 5 recipes to be featured as the lunch meals served during Language and Culture Week. So we're calling this Around the Table, a week of creating community through family recipes. That means your recipe could be chosen to be served for a special lunch for the whole school. So if you would like your recipe to be considered for this, you have to submit by Friday, this Friday, February 5th. All other recipes, if you just want to make it in the book and not for the Around the Table, then you have until Monday, March 1st to submit. So you'll submit your recipes via Google Slides, and all of the directions for this were in the Parker newsletter next week at Parker, and your teacher can also share the link with you. So if you have questions, make sure to ask your teacher how to submit. And I'm just clicking through so you can see a preview of what the recipe cards look like. You can choose from any of these recipes to represent your family recipe. So I hope to see lots of recipes in there. It'd be so cool to get your family recipe cooked for the whole school. And next, just let me get my screen ready. Next, we have our Still I Rise moment for today. So today we are actually celebrating the very beginning of Black History Month. Black History Month was started in 1926 by Black historian Carter G. Woodson, and he picked February to honor the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. So today for Black History Month, we're actually celebrating a special person. The first person we're celebrating is the picture over here on the left, Matthew Henson. Let's watch a little video about Matthew Henson to learn just a bit about his life.
Who was the first person to reach the North Pole? You might think it was Robert Peary or Frederick Cook. However, the title could actually belong to an African American explorer named Matthew Henson. Born in 1866, only a year after the end of the Civil War, Henson grew up in Maryland. 43 years later, some believe he became the first person to set foot on the North Pole. At just 13 years old, Matthew Henson left home and joined a ship crew as a cabin boy. He traveled the world and learned to read and write. In 1887, Henson was working as a store clerk in Washington, D.C., where he met the explorer Robert Peary. Peary hired him as a valet, and the two men began a working relationship that lasted for over 2 decades and half a dozen voyages. Henson proved invaluable as an expert dog sledder, hunter, craftsman, and navigator, who even became fluent in Inuit. Their team also included 4 Inuit guides who helped them in their mission. The explorers made several failed attempts before they finally reached the North Pole in 1909. Legend has it that Henson and 2 of the Inuit men arrived at the pole 45 minutes before Peary, likely making one of them the first to set foot on the North Pole. Henson later said, "I think I am the first man to sit on top of the world." Peary's achievements were recognized by the National Geographic Society when he returned. He was awarded the first ever Hubbard Medal, National Geographic's highest honor. But Henson's contributions were mostly overlooked by the scientific community. Henson went on to work as an official in the U.S. Customs House in New York City and passed away in 1955. It wasn't until almost a century after Peary was given the Hubbard Medal that Henson was awarded the same honor.
Wow, what an incredible life. He would be such a great person to research for Black History Month. And now Miss Bellingham will introduce our poem for the week by the incredible young poet, Amanda Gorman.
Well, almost 2 weeks ago, Amanda Gorman stunned the country when she recited her gorgeous and brilliant poem, The Hill We Climb, at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's inauguration. And many of us heard and watched Amanda Gorman's poem, but let's listen to the beginning of her poem again today as we enter into Black History Month and Poetry Week, which starts next week.
Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one.
So that's just a tidbit of Amanda's beautiful poem. And now Miss Bellingham is going to share a little bit about how this poem ends.
So Amanda ends her poem with these words: "For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." And we will continue to come back to these words throughout the month and during Poetry Week and beyond. But let's begin to think about how we can be brave enough to stand up for what is right, to imagine what is possible, to work for a more just world and a more just school and community. And how can each one of us be the light in our classrooms or in our families or in our communities? For there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Happy Monday, everybody.